I don't think there's any question. Our medical people did the right protocol on him yesterday. I think his comment that he said the lights were hurting kind of triggered, but it had nothing to do with, the play when he was on the floor.
Coach, he said he was asked what would it take you to not go back in the game, and he goes, probably be dead. I mean, does that just show the type of grit that this guy has?
It does. He's a gritty kid. I knew, he was hurt, but I knew that there was no way he was not going to go back into the game. If I remember correctly, I think it was a 9-point. It was still, the game was in balance. And I knew it was going to have to be a situation where either a leg was going to have to be missing or arm for him not to go back in, or for me to take him out, because he's our grit, he's our grime in the game.
How fortunate is he for? I mean, those are two heavy knees from a big guy. I mean,
it was a hard play, and that's why I was into it with the officials. I questioned with them, and again, that's a tough call on the officials, whether the ball's loose or he has the ball and the guy dives on him and kicks him in the head. So it was a tough play, but C.J. Tucker's a tough kid. You got two pit bulls down on the floor after the ball, and that's what happened.
Did you hold your breath for
You've been in the league 25 years. How has treatment of a possible head injury changed over that time?
Protocol. I mean, it's a huge issue. I mean, and it should be. Anytime it's a trigger word, you get hit in the head, and you say lights are, whether you say it accidentally or not pertaining to whatever, is huge. And teams are very sensitive to that. When they're a question whether they are going by protocol, because it's a huge deal, and because head injuries are something important in football and basketball. So, our guys did, they went through the protocol, they checked his eyes. I could have told him that Cal's marbles are a little loose anyway without doing the protocol, but they did, and he was deemed okay to go back into the game.
Looking ahead, these two games on the road back-to-back, what will you have to be prepared for?
Everything. I mean, again, and Eric gets on me for saying this, but we have to be desperate. We got to play like the desperate team. We haven't done anything in this league yet. We're still a growing team. We're still in the process of developing. So every game we go into, we got to play desperate. And yesterday's game, I watched it 3 times. They were a hot team. You play that team 5 times, they shoot like that, it's going to be tough to beat them. And, the way Gerald Green was scoring, the matchups were tough for us. That was a tough matchup for us. But with that said, we've got to go in the Atlanta game and the New Orleans game, both games, with a desperate approach the rest of our game. Not just those 2 games, but the rest of our games. And are we going to go undefeated the rest of the way? No. Are we going to have tough times the rest of the way? Yes. But how we handle that frustration and adversity is going to tell a lot about our character, and that's what I'm preaching. And because that's who we are. We're a young team. And that's what we got to learn now, how to handle that adversity and that type of those type of challenges.
You said that you watched the film 3 times.
Always do.
What can you take away from playing a group like that, knowing that there's not a lot of teams that play that same style?
Well, the one-on-one matchups. The one thing I thought we could have done better was more physical with Gerald Green before he caught the ball. Because once he catches it, he's so long and so athletic, he's just going to jump up on you. When they did give us pick and rolls, we trapped him, so that wasn't an issue. But where we can help you is if he catches it and just goes straight up over you, and he's in a zone like that, you're all alone. So I felt like we could probably be a little bit more physical with him in those situations. Our rebounding, doing a better job of putting a body on people. And again, someone asked yesterday the difference between the 2 games, the Memphis game and this game. Well, one was Memphis, you got a wrestling match with 2 big bears down in the paint. Where this game, there's more like stealth bombers coming in from the outside. You got to check to see where they're coming from the 3-point line. So it was a different type of box out, and we didn't do a good job. They had a lot, I think 17 second chance points, some crazy number, but a lot of it was coming in from the outside, running rebounds, where still you got to turn and face and see your target. So we didn't do a good job in those two
And
areas.
you mentioned the matchups. When they went small, did that make it tough for Valanciunas? Because he seemed to be having his way the first quarter, and then they went small, and then people are wondering why is he not getting the ball anymore. Did that have to do with them going small?
That has a lot to do with it, and it's nothing against JV. I mean, if Channing Frye and the Morris, Markeith, I think it is, was not making threes or making shots, then we leave JV out there. But they were spacing the floor, running, spacing out, drawing, kicking on us, and it was hurting us. And, it wasn't anything he did wrong, and it's something we always do if teams are hurting us in that situation. If we have an advantage, we go to it, and we did that in the Memphis game.
Just one more on Kyle. I mean, when you see how hard that hit came to him, how relieved, how surprised are you that he is okay?
Oh, it was huge because we're already down an important piece in our second unit with Patrick, and to lose Kyle would be tough. But then again, I have him saying, next man up, as Grievous has to be ready and ready to roll, and Dwight Bikes and Julian Stone have to be ready to play. I'm happy as heck that he's okay. But then if something does happen to anybody, next man has to be ready to get up and perform and do his job and step in and help us.
Do you know if Patrick?
No, he's at the doctor's now, so we should know. Hopefully, I don't know if we will, but hopefully we'll know something either today or tomorrow.